Hey there, Lumio lovers. Welcome back to another Lumio live stream. We're your hosts. My name is Lois, and I have Mish here with me. Say hi. Howdy.
Hi.
Today, we're getting ready for testing season, talking about how to use Lumio features and our ready made resources to help prepare your students and provide simple tools for test anxiety. And if you would like to follow along live today, you can join Misha's class by going to hellosmart.com and joining as a guest by entering the class code 181461. So, what are we
All
doing,
right,
Mish?
let's do it. Let's do it. It's almost testing time. We are so excited to help you do well during testing season this year. So before we really think into some different resources we have, I'm wondering what's one word that describes how students feel about testing? If you're watching live, don't forget you can join my lesson live time. I'm actually going to pull it up for you all one more time here. You can either scan the QR code if you're on your computer and you can see it there, or you can open up a browser tab, go to lumioclass.com, put in my code 181461 and join live time. Once you're in, my question is, what's one word that describes how students feel about testing? Jana tuning in on Twitter. Hey, Jana. What's one word that describes how students feel about testing? Prepared. I hope so. I hope that after our time here together today, the teachers, the educators, the coaches will feel prepared and then can therefore help their students too. I love using a word cloud to gather thoughts before we really dive into things here. What do you think, Lois?
Yes, word clouds are great.
All right. So I have one of our game based called rank order, and I have it set to be ungraded. So you'll notice some different things that students can do to help themselves prepare to take tests. Things like review practice tests and questions, use relaxation and breathing techniques, eat a healthy meal before the test, create a study schedule, use positive self talk and growth mindset, and sleep well the night before. We've got Gabriel joining by LinkedIn. Hey, Gabriel. So, this is one of our activities called a rank order. And like I said, today I have this to be ungraded. We did do a Lumio Live in the past of all the different ways and ideas you can use a rank order. But today we're really thinking about helping our students prepare for testing. And so, I set this one with different ideas. All of these things are good things to do before our students get ready to take a test. But I set it so I want them to kind of think about themselves, who they are as a learner, and rank them from what they think is most important to them to least important. Again, all these still important, but just thinking about themselves.
Yeah, Mish, one of the things that I love about rank order is how you can set it up to be graded or not graded, right?
Absolutely. And I think this being ungraded, I'm able to here as a teacher go to view progress. And what I can do is show live results. And if I had some students here participating, what I could do is then have my students get into really healthy discourse with each other, having them explain their reasoning, again, reflecting on who they are as a learner and kind of justify their rankings. And even though they might have thought, having a schedule really helps. But Lois, you might convince me otherwise that maybe sleeping well the night before is even more important than I initially had it ranked. And so it's really cool to kind of hear those conversations going and hear the students reason with each other.
Yeah, you know what? I would like to know if you are watching, if you can comment what you think is something that's important that may not be on our list, because that would be helpful too. Another thing that I love what you were talking about, Mish, is what if we had our students after completing this do something hands-on and crafty, right? Like what if we make a visual of what we're going to do to be prepared? Like there's lots of different ways that you could do that with or without technology, right?
I actually saw that when I was back in the classroom. I was with I think I was visiting a 5th grade teacher, and you mentioned this, Lois, yesterday too, but she had the students create like a vision board of their ideal studying environment. Like it was all about the lighting, the right pillows. For me, like I need all the right colored flare pens, what really sets
Right?
you good while you're studying.
Yes, all the colored pens. That's what I need for sure.
All the colored pens. All right, so now again, we've gone over a lot of our games before, but I really love thinking about gamified learning, especially as it pertains to studying and reviewing material. So I have a super sort here, and this is me, y'all, trying really, really hard to put aside and think a little bit more higher ed here. And I might only know a couple of these. Like I know that y equals mx plus b is the slope intercept. I don't think I can ever forget that. It's so ingrained in my brain.
Well, I'm glad you got that because the only thing I
But
have on
isn't
this
this so much
list,
better to do it this way versus flashcards?
the only thing I have, Mish, is area equals length times width. Finding the
I'm so
area of
proud
a
of you, Lois.
rectangle. That's all I got.
You know what? And that's great because I didn't even notice that one. I went straight for y equals mx plus b because it's so ingrained. But I love thinking about gamified learning because first of all, when you do it this way digitally, it really gives the students instant feedback. And if you're playing on with the game, you do have the ability to reset and keep going helpful. But then also, I think back in the day, we used so many flashcards to study. This is so much more interactive. It's engaging for our students. And also, I just think it's just a really nice way for them to see everything visually right on their screen. You can also make a leaderboard or challenge out of it because that friendly competition is so motivating for our students.
And since it's so low stakes, it really makes it practicing feel fun rather than so stressful, right?
Absolutely. We love a low stakes environment. And then also for me as the teacher, I always have the ability to go to view progress and then see individually how each of my students are doing. So as my students are getting ready, I can click into a student here and maybe I know that I'm going to need to, if I have like a general result here, I can see exactly who I need to go work on and help them prep for a test. So it's great feedback instantly, just for the student and for me as well. We're not going to spend too much time on this game here, but here's just another idea to review comprehension because comprehension is such a big part of a standardized testing. So just another way that you can use one of our games, Super Sort. Here they're sorting fact and opinion. Personally, I think dogs are better than cats is a fact. And not
I think those are some
an
fighting words.
opinion, but if you disagree, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. If you think that's an opinion or you think I'm wrong, I'll let it slide.
Is pizza the best food?
I'm from Chicago. Are we gonna fight?
Okay, okay. Pizza's the best food. You win. I would say salad, but Chicago has good salads too.
That we have a lot of really good things. So this is one of our features in Lumio called Response. It's our quiz function. And before I click play here, what I really want to talk about is this anecdote of a story that I had. I was in a classroom just about a month ago, and I had two teachers sitting together, and one said to the other, everything is so digitized, and I feel like we need to do some traditional things in the classroom, like paper, pencil. Like, why do I need to do this online? And the other teacher said, hey, like I was getting my students ready for upcoming testing season, and all of these tests are really moving towards being digitized. And as I was watching my students take these practice tests, I realized that they don't read quite as quickly, quite as fluently as they do on paper. They're still really learning to being able to have that fluency transfer over to reading digitally. And then I thought about myself and I was like, wait, I'm a sucker for a real book, but with all the travel I've been doing lately, I've switched over to Kindle. And I realize that now I read 10 times faster on my Kindle. Like I zoom through my Kindle books and I'm super slowpoke with my real books. So it's really
Really?
interesting. Yeah, it takes me so long to read like a physical book now. I zoom through Kindle.
That's interesting, Mish, because I'm exactly the opposite.
So you're like students, right? So like this is a really great ability for them to practice doing this online as they get ready because a lot of these testings are going to be digitized and that's the format that they need to get a little bit more used to. So providing them these digital opportunities in fact is helpful to get them ready. So just a quick little quiz here. We're not going to spend too much time on it. because we're running out of time here, but this is a really great way. Like on here, I created questions that are really about test prep strategies, test taking strategies, but they're also, again, getting that practice of multiple choice questions, reading online, really great options here. So, just for the sake of time, I'm going to move forward. So, sorry if you were interacting with that there.
I
And
was
I want
loving
to
it.
really quickly take a moment to show you some amazing resources that we have in our Lumio library. So if you're following along on my Lumio class, come on over, make sure you're watching, and come over to the top of my where I have the Lumio library. So two areas I want you to take a look at. The first one is brain breaks. And then the second one is our testing and test prep section. So Lois, you want to talk about, I think there's one of your
Yeah, I love the breathing dragon. If you have not checked out the breathing dragon lesson, you need to do that. I find lots of times I feel some big emotions, and the breathing dragon helps me calm down and relax and focus. And, if I'm testing for math, I'm going to have super big emotions. So I really love that we have these great strategies for relieving test anxiety or also helping with those big emotions.
I love that. And that resource that Lois is talking about, actually, you're not limited to just looking in this brain break section. The one that Lois is talking about is actually from partnerships with ClickView. And if you go all the way down, we just did a webinar with them a couple weeks back, but we've got these video lessons with ClickView. And if you click on see more, where is it? Right here. This
Hiding.
one is at the
Yes,
breathe big emotions.
that's me, breathing
And then
through big
also as you're getting
emotions.
ready, we also have a wonderful we have a wonderful testing and test prep section here as well. So you can take a look here, and there are some different ideas for you to help for you to make different resources or for your students to be able to practice.
Lots of really great resources that are already there for you. So it'll save you a bunch of time in creation. But if there's something that you would also like to add, I love that you can just pull that into your own library and edit it however you see fit.
Absolutely. And before I hand it right back over to Lois to close us out for today, I forgot to say, if you love our response function, I love it. I use it a lot. There might be a really exciting announcement coming this week in our ambassador platform. There is a little update happening, a little one, but it's a really big deal. We're going to be announcing different things all week long, new updates in Lumio. So make sure you're take a look every single day, because I promise there is an announcement coming about our response feature.
That's great, Mish. And if you'd like more on easy tools to make learning work for every student, you can always dive a little deeper into learning about Lumio by registering for our future webinars. You can visit go.smarttech.com/golumio. And what I also love is if you can't make it live, if you register, you get a recording.
That's awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining into Lumio Live this week. We'll see you at the next one.